I'm always on the hunt for the next great Paper Mario-like. Bug Fables and Underhero absolutely scratched that itch. There's a little bonus recommendation for you. But another title that needs to be added to the list is Kulebra and the Souls of Limbo. But what's curious is that this game doesn't include a foundational element of what makes Paper Mario and its peers so great: the combat. So how does something without all the strategy and heart-pumping action of a battle system still warrant the coveted "you need to play" label? Well, by focusing on the other component that Mario RPGs always knock out of the park: world building, characters, and humor. And as a card-carrying Paper Mario combat enjoyer myself, I can confirm that it still somehow pulls it off in spectacular fashion. Let's talk about how they did it. You start the game as this cute little snake guy named Kulebra, who wakes up in Limbo, the land between death and life, with no memory of how he got there. As you explore, you'll find other souls who are trapped here without even realizing they've already died. They either have some unfinished business or don't want to face a tough situation from their former life. And in order to move on, you need to help them move on. So this involves gathering information about the townsfolk, finding lost key items, or hosting an intervention between the parties that won't speak to resolve their conflicts. But the main caveat is that there's a time of day cycle, and certain events can only happen during the day, evening, or night. And when the day resets, people won't remember the conversations you had with them yesterday, because they're stuck in a Groundhog Day-esque time loop. So this, combined with managing your inventory, really leads to the puzzle adventure style that Paper Mario is often known for, and unravels in some really unique ways. You might wait until nightfall to eavesdrop on a conversation outside a window, try to retrieve an item from the river when it floats by at a specific time in the evening, or have to complete a task before nighttime curfews are enforced. And if you give a main character something that's meaningful to their overarching story, it may unlock a core memory called a soul mark that does let them remember information in subsequent days, which helps drive the story forward. The result feels like a combination of Resident Evil's item management and Majora's Mask's time mechanics, which leads to a satisfying loop of discovering a new area, learning about its inhabitants, and slowly peeling back the layers while solving puzzles and avoiding dangers. And while there may not be any turn-based battles in the traditional sense, that doesn't mean that there's never a fail state. Near the end of a chapter, it will cap off with a confrontation against an angry soul that doesn't want you to proceed. In order to overcome the challenge, you need to calm them down by answering questions about their backstory, which acts as a final test of everything you've learned in each area. And if you get enough answers wrong, you become overtaken by darkness and lose the encounter. So this certainly raises the stakes and makes you pay attention to the details that come to light when understanding the character's problems and history. But they'll also try to trick you sometimes by not giving you any correct answer, which lets you pull a Phoenix Wright moment to call their bluff and correct them. Objection! When you answer enough correctly, it lets their guard down, and you can overcome their darkness with light to bring them back from the brink of madness and help them to resolve their lingering pain. And truly, the reason this system works so well is because the cast of characters are well written and interesting. My favorite location is probably Sunset Saw, a western town where an inventor's son turned into an evil sheriff, and all he wants to do is rekindle their relationship but fears it's too late. But there are plenty of other stories of equal weight, involving competing wrestlers, a family business moving past tragedy, and numerous others. I don't want to spoil all of the reasons Kulebra is so engaging, but just know that the deeper you get, the more sinister the story becomes, and you'll find much more than self-contained conundrums like this. You may even uncover why you're stuck in limbo yourself. But don't think this game is just about going from A to B to move the plot along. There's a ton of collectibles and side content to keep you busy as well. My favorite aspect ended up being the spirit temples you can unlock after certain missions, and going back to previous areas to gather all the goodies and upgrades I may have missed. You can even help little NPC spirits with their troubles too, just to be a good dude. Solving the puzzle box world design was the most satisfying part of Calabra for me, and I ended up 100%ing the game after beating the main story. There's little kindnesses waiting around every corner, and I found myself bashing into every wall or windowsill I could. It even feels good to simply move around the world because you have this rolly dash move to get around quicker. It's the little details, you know? Sometimes you can just tell the level of quality in certain titles when you finish them. And not only does this game understand the appeal of what makes Paper Mario so great, but it hones in on a specific element in such a way that it expands the series into new waters in unexpected and gratifying ways. There's a ton of heart and warm fuzzy feelings to be found here, but it's also so much more than just a cute narrative. There's something so satisfying about seeing all the elements you interact with coming together and having importance in some way. And of course, it's got a colorful and creative art style to boot. I can't recommend Kulebra and the Souls of Limbo enough, whether you're a Paper Mario fanatic like me or not, and I hope it can be an inspiration for other developers in the future to take some ideas of the games we love and morph them into something wholly unique. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Stay frosty, my friends.